And in Gears E-Day, we finally see the legendary Brotherhood happen again. This is a Brotherhood. This is war. This ain't no General Hospital shit. What was even the point of JD and Kate? What was the point? In order for this franchise to survive and into the future with all these other games and to reclaim its throne, it had to evolve and revolutionize the game again, which it will with E-Day. I think so. There has been a resurrection, a resurgence, a revival like we have not seen in a while when it came to Gears of War. We haven't seen a revival like this since Gears 3. I dare to say. Now you say, Pat, you say 8. What you mean Gears 3? Wasn't there a revival when Gears 4 was out? When Gears 5 came out? I mean, them games were successful. But the main reason why them games even had a sembling of success is because of what these guys did. These guys that I'm about to show you right now. These guys, mainly Marcus, but Marcus gave us memories of Dom when Dom wasn't there for Gears 4, when we were like, yo, is Marcus coming back? And then Marcus shows back up. Then they tried to feed us JD and Kate. JD and Kate were simply placeholders for what Marcus and Dom did. Marcus and Dom were the reasons why we even cared even a little bit for these two characters. Kate had an origin story with I guess Myra being her mother, but her character was bland, boring. We didn't care. They didn't have no edge. She didn't have no edge. She's a very attractive chick. She's attractive. JD he wasn't Marcus. These guys, the legends, they had edge. They cursed. They were alpha males. They're the ones that designed the story to be what it is. These are the guys that fought Gears 1, 2, 3. They seen a lot of death. One of them lost their wives. One of them gave their life by the end of Gears 3. And in Gears E-Day, we finally see the legendary Brotherhood happen again. This legendary Brotherhood is the reason why this revival of Gears, the energy around this whole thing feels like this. They are the reason. Dom and Marcus are the reason why the energy surrounding this game feels like this. This is why E-Day will be successful, and it will draw a similar impact that Gears 1 did with its campaign, its gameplay, its story. They revamped the game, revolutionized it, evolved it with the new engine from what we saw with the gameplay footage to bring back the Covenant Brotherhood and to bring new people into the game and to wipe away whatever that was with JD and Kate. And in my opinion, I don't even know why they're here, to be honest. I don't know why Katie and Kate were here. Yeah, the mirror thing with Kate made it kind of interesting. It made it kind of interesting. JD lost his arm or something like that. I guess it's just not the same, bro. She wasn't a rugged chick. She barely cursed. She was a very nice person. Kate is a very nice person. Marcus ain't nice. Dom was nicer than Marcus, but Dom still had edge. He was still cursing. He was still... This is a brotherhood. This is war. This ain't no general hospital shit. I'm not saying Gears of War 4 and 5, the story was bad, but there was a missing connection. The connection was missing. The connection was missing. So I'm going to ask to you guys that's watching this video, what was even the point of JD and Kate? What was the point? Without Marcus and Dom, we wouldn't know JD and Kate. And I'm going to be honest, JD and the Kate is the reason why the franchise kind of fell. When Dom died in Gears 3, it signaled the end of a legacy, even though they tried to bring it back with Gears 4. Gears 4 became a success because we had those memories of Gears 3. We saw Gears end. It was the end of a series. Then they extended it with Gears 4. They extended it with Gears 4. All right? So I wake all the veterans of Gears. I wake you all as we bear witness to the real comeback of Gears of War. We bear witness to the real comeback of Gears of War. Not with placeholders, not with offspring. We go back to the beginning. We go back to the legendary Brotherhood of Marcus, Fenix, and Dominic Santiago. Actually, after E-Day, I don't know, man. They got to figure something out, because Kate and JD ain't going to work. Not for me. You can say in the comments if you like them characters. You could say that you might have the weird opinion that those characters are better than Marcus and Dom. You could say that. Everybody is entitled to their opinion, but it wouldn't make sense to me. This is a cute couple. These guys were built for war. These guys was a part of the reason why two-man friendships during the times of Gears 1 was like a thing. Yeah, yo, shit, I'm Marcus, you Dom, I'm this, I'm that. People were saying that. I wasn't saying that. But if you had a dynamic duo, there was some people that were saying, yo, nah, that's we like Marcus and Dom. That's my boy right there. That's my boy right there. And if they had a 4-man squad, pause, yo, this is my Alpha squad. This is my Delta squad right here. This is my Delta squad. That's Big. He the smart one. That's Cole. He wild in sports. That's Dom. He like his girl. And this Marcus. I'm Marcus. This Delta squad. This is us. People was saying that shit. People had an emotional attachment to these guys. You see what I'm saying? now we bear witness to the origin story before they was even that cool. Dom and Marcus wasn't even that cool at the start of E-Day because they had Carlos Santiago as the brother in the middle, and then he died, I guess, saving them or something like that before the war ended and the new war starts. If you really think about it, these guys with E-Day, these guys step into a 20-year war. 20+ year war they step in. They thinking the pendulum war, all right, it's over, we coming back home. With E-Day, and then you look at E-Day to Gears 5, they step into a 20-something, 30-something year war that they didn't know what was happening. But then you learn the truth as you playing Gears 1 through 3. You learn the truth. You watch Marcus, watch Dom give his life in Gears 3. We all remember that. We seen the life in Dominic Santiago's eyes leave because his wife Maria was no longer here. But he had to keep fighting to save the planet from these monsters. He gave away his life in Gears 3, and that signified the end of a series, of a legendary series, even though they tried to extend it with Gears 4 and 5. Gears 4 and 5's multiplayer is what kept it afloat. Yes, I played Gears 4's story and realized Mira was Kate's mother. But who cares? We don't like Kate. JD, we could care less. They tried to toughen him up by cutting his hair. Kate is still pretty with lip gloss. She wasn't tough like Anya. She wasn't tough like Sam. As far as her personality, she wasn't lovable. We don't care. We don't care, bro. We just, you're Mira's daughter. That's it. Marcus, this was Adam Fenix's son. This was the guy that, if you know the lore, was kind of the guy that started it all. His father. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel, man. What you think, man? What you think? You think that we're back 100%? The Brotherhood, the full revival of the game, the story, the franchise? Do you even care about JD and Kate? Do they have any significance to you? Do they even tug on your heartstrings like these guys did? Marcus and Dominic Santiago? Make sure you go in the comments. Hit me up on TikTok. Hit me up on Instagram. Hit me up on Twitter. Before I go, my Instagram. This is how I know Gears revival. This is how I know Gears revived itself, right? My Instagram, I did a Gears video, and it's been going viral ever since. It's been going viral ever since. Where is this shit? Is this it? Bro. This video that I did a couple days ago has almost 10,000 likes, 590 comments, with impressions of about 120,000. My bad for the laugh. Ain't nothing funny about that. This is the biggest that my Instagram has ever been because of one video. One video. The active reload, in the middle of the screen, like that's actually, I actually appreciate that. because you got to be focused on the fight in this game. Can't be looking at the top right of your screen. If to all the Gears players that really play this shit, it got to the point where you had to master not looking at the active reload bar, and you just knew how to get the active reload without the things that I'm discussing in this particular Instagram video. Is at 20K on TikTok, by the way, right now. 20K. A lot of Gears heads in the comments that started this from Gears 1 with Marcus and Dominic Santiago. We're going to extend this video a little bit more. These cats in my comments, look at this one cat. He got 1,000 likes for saying some shit. 1,000 likes. This cat's under here that have went viral under this video that I'm talking about. Yo, we used to master active reloading without looking. You had to master it because blah 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 blah. 2,000 likes. Other guy had 4,000. 1,000. That's the biggest I've seen. These guys are under my joint getting viral off of the legacy of Gears. That's something Kate and JD could never do. Gears 1 to 3 is the reason why this vid that I made went viral. Off of what they did. You understand? In Gears 1, 2, and 3, you played it so much that you had to master active reloads if you really wanted to be good. If you really wanted to be good, you had to master active reloads. Active reloads gave you a damage bonus. Active reloads gave you, yo, we had to hit it. And if I look up at the top right of the screen, I might miss something. I got to keep my eye on the game. Okay, let me master my peripheral. Bang, I can see it. Cool. I know where it's at. All right, let me look at the animations of the character. Okay, when he gets this close to the clip, I hit the active again. I hit the reload again. He gonna reload that motherfucker. No other game had a system where you had to reload your gun yourself. That's one of the things that was revolutionary about Gears. Other games, you just hit reload and it just reloads. It takes the time to reload. Gears of War was the first game. This is what made it so pivotal. When we first played Gears 1 and it was like, yo, when you hit reload, you got to hit that button again. What you mean we got to hit that button again? What you mean we got to hit the button again? Yo, you got to hit the button. You got to get that shit. You got to play a little mini game where you hit the gauge right there in the middle. Right there in the middle. You hit the gauge, or you can hit that little white spot. You hit that little white spot, you going to get an active, and it's going to give you stronger bullets. You get a faster rate of fire, and you get back in the fight faster. Oh shit. So what happens if you jam? If you jam, you might be dead in the water depending on where you at. We did that with Marcus and Dom. We ain't do that with when Kate and JD came back. Those games was fed off in nostalgia. When it came to multiplayer, even though Dom was dead, they had to put Dom in the multiplayer. Isn't that right? They had to put Dom in the multiplayer. This is a real thing. So what's inspired me to do this video and what inspired me to keep going with Gears of War content, amongst other things that I'm doing with my YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all that. When I made this video a couple days ago, one day ago, it said, it keeps going. I don't know where it's going to be in a month. A lot of people that was asleep playing these other games, trying to pass time, playing Call of Duty. Yeah, we played Gears 5, but Gears 5 ain't really the movement was good and all that, but it's missing that layer, that scary element, that gritty element that E-Day is gonna bring back from the dead. They made the wise decision. They said, yo, we have to bring back the Brotherhood. We have to go back. We have to go back to square one. We have to go back to the foundation of this shit. If we don't go back to the foundation of this shit, before we even think about a Gear 6, before we even think about a Gear 6, we gotta go back to the guys that made us who we are, that made Epic Games who they are. Even though Gears of War is no longer under Epic Games, they're under the coalition. They had to go back to square one. They had to go back to the foundation. They had to go back to the first time we hit them active reloads. They had to go back to the foundation when we hit that chainsaw. We never seen a Lancer with a chainsaw. We've never seen that before. The Brotherhood is the ones that brought that memory to us when we first seen the Chainsaw Lancer. When Gears 2, when they first brought chainsaw battles as another mini game, when you both had chainsaws and you had to fight each other with the chainsaw. That's the first time we've ever seen that. Y'all don't know. If you don't know, you're not gonna know. The Brotherhood is Gears of War. Marcus and Dominic Santiago, they are Gears of War. And you could put Beard in there. You could put Ty Caliso in there. You could put Coltrane in there. Those are the guys. Carmine, those are the guys. You notice Carmine is in the game too, but it's a different Carmine. They gotta put a Carmine in every Gears. It had to be done. You wanted a Gears revival? You wanted the Gears to come back to take his throne as the top game? You want that to happen? This had to happen. The guys had to happen. The guys had to happen. Yeah, the wall bouncing changed. In Gears 1, the wall bounce was a lot slower. It wasn't really a bounce. They didn't have bounce canceling. We about to go back from the ground up. But we changed a few things. We evolved the game. The game itself, the old way, the old game. Gears 4, 5, even 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5. We can't play Gears the same again. There's going to be similarities, but in order for this franchise to survive into the future with all these other games and to reclaim its throne, it had to evolve and revolutionize the game again, which it will with E-Day. I think so. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. I ain't think this video was going to be that long, but yo, man, the passion is back. The passion is back. I'm going to be doing a lot more content on my YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing a lot more content. Amongst other things, because I'm not just gonna be a one-trick pony out here. So whatever I talk about is what I talk about. I'm part of the FGC. I'm a part of the Gears of War family. And I have a podcast where I discuss other things as well that I'm into. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think about what I said in this video about the Gears revival. The legendary Brotherhood is back. I'm out of here.